What's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel, and whatever platform you're listening to this on. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would appreciate if you would hit that subscribe button. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, while you're at it, go ahead and hit that like button. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to go ahead and brighten up the place, especially as I'm recording early this morning. We want to go ahead and brighten up the place. But let's get into this conversation, guys. All right, I listened to the interview that Tasha did on the app. I definitely am a subscriber of Tasha K's app, and tashaklive is what it's called. And this woman, and I'm being nice by calling her that, who did this interview with Tasha K, claiming that she was in a relationship with someone else's husband for 5 years, is really delusional. Now, I'm not going to give a lot of specific details, and I'm not going to play any clips because I'm going to respect her platform. So I'm sure eventually she's going to release it on YouTube. I just don't know when. But I listened to this and I laughed almost all the way through it, except for the times when I was just saying, this girl is absolutely delusional, dumb, stupid, whatever terms you want to call her, someone who would sit there with a straight face and really trying her best to sound like she has some sense about herself, to say that I don't care what any of you all say. I wasn't a side chick. This was my man. I was in a relationship with him. But one of the things that stood out to me that I'm just going to talk about in this conversation, because I'm not going to try to make sense of something that's just really stupid, is the fact that she said, I was patient with this man, but I just had enough. Anyone with any sense about themselves, first of all, anyone with any sense about themselves would not get involved knowingly with a man that is married, period. Because statistics show that most men do not leave their wives for another woman. I'm not saying it never happens, because we all know that when it comes to statistics, there is the high end and there is the low end, because there are some times where it happens, just like with birth control. The higher likelihood is if you use it properly, you will not get pregnant. But there are times when you use it and you do. I'm actually on the low end of that statistic because I was using birth control and I got pregnant many years ago. But at any rate, this isn't about that. I'm just using that as an example. She really thought that this man was going to leave his wife to be with her. He was stringing her along all the time. Listen, I believe her. I'm not here to say that she's a liar, but I am here to say that she is stupid. Okay? And I don't blanket call people that, because it's not a nice thing to do. But she did a not nice thing. She was knowingly with a man that was married, and she tried to use the excuse of how she grew up in a household with parents who were married and they were living separated, and she's been through a similar situation because she was previously married and she was with someone and the relationship wasn't working out. Well, you can't use your own situation in the past to think that you inserting yourself into someone else's relationship and marriage, not just relationship, but into their marriage union, that it was going to work out for you. And secondly, she was utilizing Latosha earnings that he was using on her to fund her lifestyle. So how is that going to work? I mean, we see that's not really working out for Kelvin Hunter, who used to be married to Wendy Williams, because he definitely was using Wendy Williams' earnings and her hard work to fund Sharina Hudson's lifestyle. And now that she's going through her health challenges. It's to the point where he's pretty much begging the courts to make her get up and go to work because he needs to be able to pay his bills. But he claims that he made Wendy Williams, but he hasn't made anybody else but Wendy Williams. Okay, then. Right, sure. So it's so stupid because she says, I was really patient with this man, but I just got fed up. You weren't patient. You were delusional. You were stupid. You were dumb. You were, putting on your rose-colored glasses, thinking that it was going to work out for you. To me, this outcome that she's going to get from this interview, it's, I believe, going to turn out for her like it turned out for Ariane Curry, who came on to do an interview with Tasha K to talk about this relationship that she was in with Martell Holt while he was married to Melody Cherie of Love and Marriage Huntsville. So many people really got to the point where they despise this chick because of how she was speaking. And I don't think, I don't think a lot of people would have liked Ariane Curry just simply because she was doing what she was doing with a married man and knew that he was married and tried to justify the relationship. But if she didn't come off so cocky and arrogant and also trying to bash Melody in the process, I don't think she would have become as hated as she is now if she did things a little bit differently when she came on to expose Martell. Because the problem is she didn't really come on to expose Martell. She really came on to try to justify herself being in a relationship with Martell, and also in the process saying that he was a good man. In this situation, even though she's not calling Rocky, that a great of a man, but she's not showing any remorse for being in a relationship with a married man and hurting his wife. And that's why I feel a lot of people are going to have the same type of outlook on her that they've had on Ariane Curry, because you don't show any remorse or grief for what you've done, even if you're faking it and lying about it. These these hoes ain't quiet anymore. It's like, I'm coming out, I'm a woman scorned, and I'm going to let everybody know about it. And I feel something else happened to cause her to come out and share this information. I feel like he just, at some point, just decided to cut her off immediately, and that's why she's angry. Because I will say, in the interview, there was a time when Tasha tried to reach out to him, and she couldn't because he had this chick on block. Her name is Unique. And she, I believe, just for whatever reason, I don't know if she did something to cause him to just decide ultimately and immediately to cut her off, but he did. And I believe that that is the reason why she's now coming out and saying these things. I believe the money got cut off and the communications cut off, and now this is, ultimately what she's doing. But that's the ignorant thing to do, to say, well, I don't care what anyone says. I was not a side chick. He was my man. I was in a relationship with him. I mean, it's the equivalent of those of us who are saying, yeah, you definitely were on the side. It's the equivalent of someone speaking the truth to someone and they're sticking their fingers in their ears and saying la 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 la, because you just don't want to hear the truth. So you're choosing to drown it out. But she saying that she was patient, but she's fed up. No, you were not patient. You were extremely stupid and delusional for thinking that it was going to ultimately work out in your favor, because she claims that he told her that he was trying to work some things out so that he wasn't dependent on her money, his wife. And she said, she tried to encourage him, and you can do it, and, don't give up on what you were before you got with her. You could do it. But listen, this dude and I spoke about this in a previous conversation, I'm not calling him R. Kelly, but he used to work on his team. In some ways, he's got that predatory spirit, because on the SWV and Escape show, Latasha admitted it. She said when she met her husband, she was dating someone else. She said that he told the guy that she was dating, you just need to go ahead and give that up because she's going to be my girlfriend. I'm going to be with her. And they've been together ever since. He spotted the fact that she had an amazing voice, had an amazing talent. She had something that he saw in her. And I'm not saying that she's not a beautiful woman. I'm not. But we know back in the day, things were looking a little different. They were. Let's just be clear about that. I believe that he saw something in her in terms of the talent that she had, and also possibly something that he could really prey on to solidify his lifestyle. 100%. I'm not saying that there was no feelings that grew over the years, but I'm just being honest. I'm sorry. I believe that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I get that. But I do believe that there are some people that will overlook that for the sake of where they want to be in life. And I mean, people do it all the time. So I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, because it shouldn't just be about the beauty and it shouldn't just be about the looks. But we know men are more visual than females are. Females are more about security for the most part. That's why you could see a chick with someone that most people would see as absolutely ugly and disgusting, extremely obese, or, whatever. But because they have a really solid place in life in terms of the lifestyle, the income, revenue, and all of those different things, they can fund the type of lifestyle and give them that security that they want. Whereas men will sacrifice the looks of a woman over anything else because they want to have that trophy piece, that arm candy. That's what they want. So you would see someone who is with a chick with him simply because of what he has, and he's okay with that because he knows that he is with her simply because of what she looks like and what she could offer him. So it's almost like I won't even say it's an even exchange, but they know what they've gotten themselves into, and they do it for the time being. I'm not saying it works out forever, but they do it. So I believe that he has somewhat of that predatory thing within him, just my opinion, as to why he latched himself on to Latasha many years ago. And now so much to the fact that they've been together all of these years, where he could be with so many other people, because she even says it. And that's another reason why I call her stupid. She says that she wasn't the only one, even though she said she was with him for 5 years. So he was doing you dirty because, one, he was married, and two, he was also with other women. So don't say that you were patient. You were stupid. Because let's be clear, and I'm just speaking as a businesswoman because that's what I speak about a lot, as someone who is a woman in business of, over, 17 years almost. I know that like, for example, when I was in the legal field, the attorneys, most of them loved to golf, and they would spend a lot of time golfing. It was a hobby. They never quit their career that they were making a lot of money doing for the sake of a hobby. Rocky has his career with his wife. And in some ways, marriage is a business. In some ways, it definitely is. You've got a contract, you've got a license, you have rights that you have as a wife, as a husband, all of those different things. So in some ways, yes, it is a business. But Rocky is never going to quit his career for the sake of a hobby. She thought that he was going to dump his career that he's making his living from, his money from, for the sake of a hobby, which is what she was. It was never going to be that way, sweetheart. So that's the thing that really baffles me about a lot of these chicks that get involved with these men that are married, whether they knew immediately that the person was married or not, once you know, you really should head for the hills, because it just really isn't your best interest. That's why so many people get tripped up, because we allow our feelings to get involved. And that's in everything, not just in these relationships. And I'm speaking from someone like in business, because I've made mistakes when it comes to my heart, using my heart over my head. I should have fired someone some time ago, but because I cared about the person and I want to continue to see them be able to support their lifestyle and live and things like that, I would put that over terminating them and letting them go for the sake of what's going to benefit me and my business. I put them over my business, and that wasn't smart, because I was getting my feelings involved. But you cannot allow your feelings to overflow over your finances. It just doesn't work, because when it comes to paying the bills, the bill collectors don't want to hear anything about your feelings. They just want the money. So a lot of these females, they allow their feelings to overflow, and yeah, the money too, because most of these chicks that are in these situations, they're also benefiting financially in it as well. It's not just about the sex, which we know there's a lot of that going on, because it's pretty much, you're kind of selling it. But when she says in this interview time and time again, I don't care what anyone thinks, I was not a side chick, this was my man, we were in a relationship. Well, it must not have been that much of a relationship if he just cut you off like that and now you can't even reach him anymore after 5 years, and he was with other people and married. Girl, you are really stupid. I'm just gonna, and that's just being nice saying that. You were not patient, you were stupid, and you got strung along for 5 years. You terminated multiple pregnancies, that's what she said, for the sake of listening to this man. She went by his direction to say that her social media account was hacked when she tried to expose him months ago, and now here we are. So yeah, she wasn't patient, she was stupid. So I just wanted to talk about that briefly, guys. Let me know, did you listen to the interview yet? If you have, let me know your thoughts about it, and just let me know what you think about this situation overall. Do you believe that she really thought that he was going to leave Latasha and ultimately be with her? It's just weird. And I'll close with this. It is really weird when women are with a man and the man is doing something deceitful and devious and dirty to the other woman, and they think that that will not happen to them because they're special and they're different. It's just really crazy to me. But yeah, some people just really are delusional in that way, and extremely self-absorbed and self-centered, because you have to be pretty self-centered and self-absorbed to think that you really are that special where that will not ultimately happen to you. And also, you don't believe in karma and reaping what you sow. But I know of a surety that you will reap what you sow. And a lot of times it doesn't happen in the same way that you put it out. So you just have to really be careful about how you treat people, because I'm not saying that some horrible disease is going to jump on you. You have kidney failure or whatever, but there have been stories about people who have done dirty things to people, and then situations happen with their health, and it's something that somebody cannot help you with at all. So you just have to be really careful about how you treat people. As much as LaTocha right now is despised and even loathed and hated by some people because of things that have been exposed on the SWV and Escape show between her and her sister, she doesn't deserve to go through something like that. It's just not right. So anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you so much for subscribing if you have not already done so. And guys, this is Beth, and I'm just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I just wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.